many of you have ever witnessed an animal getting killed by a truck or any other vehicle on the road or on the streets? How many of you have ever seen an animal being shot at just for fun and games, such as hunting? It was founded by over the years the animal cruelty has increased, and overwhelmingly not just by accident. There are over 1 million others who are abandoned, neglected, and punished in a crucial way. Some of the examples I have just told you are just some of the minor animal cruelties noticed in publicity. Well, let me tell you that animal testing, farming, and slaughterhouses are the most horrific cases of animal cruelty that there can be. The meat production, along with cosmetic and other sorts of products, causes a huge impact onto animal cruelty. For one thing, animal testing is one of the rarest cases of animal cruelty known to publicity. What people don't know is that millions of animals are used in labs such as guinea pigs, rabbits, hamsters, dogs, primates, cats, farm animals, and other sorts of animals. The numbers of these are a huge amount of numbers, such as overall in 1995 there was about 1,267,828 animals used for these labs. In increasing year all the way to 1997, there was about 1,395,463 animals used for labs. But this was by medical healthcare physician Lynn Johnson Langer. Human beings experience life even at its most animalistic level, in a way that fundamentally differs from the creatures. Animals and humans are not alike. A quote from a magazine associate editor of 2009, John Lanker. Over the years, animal testing has progressed, and yet it's an outstanding rate of animal mutation. Mutations are random changes in genetic information of an organism. This leads to a huge effect of harmful mutations. This chart over here shows the increase of the quantity of how much animals are used from 1960 to 2008. The one highlighted in orange shows how much the effectiveness of harmful mutation has been created within these animals. Animals are all of the time being neglected in labs, and for the most part, it is an inhumane act towards the animals. Showing a picture of vivisection here. This is a cat being vivisected, and usually these animals are usually vivisected while they're still unconscious. Okay, animals are all now that I have given you the facts of problems to animal cruelty, let me show you the in-depth information of what happens to those animals and those industries and how inhumane act can affect us. Listen to these facts and imagine if this was your pet. Many animals used in labs can be an animal collected from the wild or from the streets, and from the animal it is reproduced for legal testing. What the public doesn't know that is how inhumane animal testing can be. First off, I would like to take the example of the California Regional Primates Research Center. The center itself raises over 150 newborn primates every year. The babies are removed from the baby after 3 days old. Some newborn infants are tested by sewing the eyelids shut. Others are trained to receive intravenous injections into their systems. In addition, adult primates are used to receive more of a dramatic self-testing, such as having their heads, legs, and arms being tied up and inject viruses into their systems, or have them receive trauma head by forcefully hammering metal nails into their head to determine how this affects them. Another example of animal testing used in testing is in dogs. Dogs are commonly employed to toxicity test which rarely use any form of pain relief because of the fact that experiment can proceed for weeks or even months, and so using anesthetic will generally interfere with the project. Dogs are also used to surgically mutilate, meaning if they are going to experiment on them for heart problems, or for example, they would ultimately operate them and blockade the blood vessel that pumps into their hearts to mimic the heart disease of a human. In the name of science, what had to be done was done, but in overall, these animals have a different anatomy to ours, and proved it. Animal testing wasn't at all that successful. Medicine was unsafe for humans. There was about 2.2 million people that was hurt and causing 106,000 deaths. This was according to the Journal of American Medical Association of 1998. All in the animal testing cost the American public of over $136 billion annually and fails to meet the standards. Animals suffers the same with the produce of farming industries. As you may know, more than 1 million of farm animals are used in these industries as well for meat trades. And for the most part, it is a huge issue of neglect for the farm animals in the feeding lots. For instance, this is a cow used in the feeding lots. Many cows on these feeding lots become sick and die for their unnatural diets and the filthy and unnatural conditions. The feedlot lot air is saturated with ammonia, methane, and other noxious gases built up from the huge amount of manure, and cows are forced to inhale these fumes constantly. This can give cows chronic respiratory problems so that even breathing is painful. The feedlot causes chronic digestive pain, and the cow's digestive tracts become ulcerated and eventually rupture, or as the industry may call it, bloating. According to the published Journal of the Study of Animal Science, the feedlot diet causes potential fatal liver abscesses in 32% of the cattle raised for beef. And according to Dr. David Brubaker from Philadelphia, PhD, at Johns Hopkins University Center for a Livable Future, the way that we breed animals for food is a threat to the planet. It pollutes our environment while consuming huge amounts of water, rain, petroleum, pesticides, and drugs. Truthfully, there are hundreds of animals that die every year. It may be that there are more populations of animals that die down every year than improving the lives of others. We can help make those choices, just to stick to these choices. Making the following choices may be a small step, but you can know in the long run it can be a change. First, we take the step of abolishing animal testing and substitute the alternative testing. Second, we can reproduce the population of stray animals by spaying and neutering our pets. And last, I'm not saying that you have to go vegetarian, but it's a good place to start. Vegetarian's diet offer a number of nutritional products. Thank you.